About a week ago, Floki announced a major project that was going to capitalize on the growing tokenization industry, which is estimated to be worth $16 trillion by 2030. They announced a new token, a sister token to Floki called TokenFi. And I did a whole entire deep dive about TokenFi and Floki in a video just a few days ago, so I'll link that down below. And since we've last spoke, the token has officially launched on popular dexes like Uniswap and PancakeSwap, and there's been a lot of good news happen. But there's also been quite a bit of drama, a bit of FUD, and bad news that also has gone on. So today's video, I want to address the FUD. I want to address what exactly is going on with TokenFi and why, despite everything going on, I'm more bullish on it now than ever. So what we have seen is that TokenFi was announced and launched by the Floki team. Floki launched TokenFi. They're trying to capitalize on this multi-trillion-dollar tokenization industry. And in their announcement, they said they're going to unveil the platform website on the 27th of October, and you're finally going to see what they have planned. They said the trading will commence on Uniswap and PancakeSwap by 3 p.m. UTC on October 27th. So keep that date in mind as we go through the video. October 27th, 2023. They said, look, we're going to launch on these two dexes, but we are not going to list on any centralized exchanges for at least 1 week. They had requested that they could have at least 1 week take part in a DAO vote before listing on any centralized exchanges. And this is where the drama starts to unfold, because ultimately what happened is that Floki came out and said, look, it's come to our attention that many centralized exchanges, and a few of them are already being announced for Floki's sister token, TokenFi. They said, while we've had engagement with several strong centralized exchanges interested in listing TokenFi's token, the symbol is TOKEN, they said their arrangement is that no listing should happen until after a week of the token being alive on Uniswap and PancakeSwap. And they said any listing that happens before this period, we do not have announced officially is not authorized by the Floki team. They said this because what was going on behind the scenes is BitGet, which is a tier 1 exchange, had listed TokenFi's token. They had listed symbol TOKEN on their platform, and this had created a lot of drama. So again, Floki's team came out and said, look, we've seen a few centralized exchange listing announcements for Floki's sister token, TokenFi. While we appreciate strong interest from exchanges, we do not authorize any token listing until after the first week of TokenFi being live. They say any exchange listing prior to this time is not authorized by them. You're trading at your own risk. And they said ultimately, if any exchange lists their token TOKEN prior to this period, unless they announce it first, they encourage you to test their liquidity before using the platform by withdrawing any tokens that you have. So if you have TokenFi on that platform, they had recommended that you withdraw it. Make sure there's enough liquidity. They had said this from the very beginning, and this was said again on October 27th. Then they had another announcement, because what was happening is this drama was continuing to unfold with BitGet, where they had already launched TokenFi's token on their platform. So symbol TOKEN was already on their platform, and then they had to come out and set the record straight. They said, look, ultimately, BitGet launched our token on the platform. They launched TOKEN, TokenFi's native token. And what happened was they had said that while they did reach out to a bunch of tier 1 exchanges, highly respected exchanges, before they announced their token, they said that they had agreed with all these different exchanges and all their different exchange partners that they would not list TokenFi until at least 7 days of the token going live, since they intended to put it forward to a DAO vote to allow the listing. So then what happened, again, is BitGet, the smallest of all the exchanges they were talking to, went behind their backs. They launched the token. They even launched it before it was available to be traded. So technically, it was not real at all. It was a completely fake token, because it went live before TokenFi's actual token was even available on Uniswap or PancakeSwap. So how could it be real if the actual project, TokenFi, if you went on their website, you could not buy it on Uniswap, you could not buy it on PancakeSwap, you couldn't buy it anywhere, but it was already available on BitGet. So that made no sense at all, and ultimately what happened is that BitGet just listed the token, a random token that they basically decided, look, we see all the hype, we see all this drama, we see all the talk around TokenFi. Let's just list their symbol TOKEN on our exchange and get a lot of trading volume, get a lot of people over to our platform. That's exactly what they did. So they launched this like fake TokenFi token, and they launched it 12 minutes before the actual token was ever officially tradable to the blockchain. And as a result of this, they had been able to garner a lot of attention. They had gained, $50 million in trading volume. But again, TokenFi and the Floki team had said constantly, look, from day one, they had said, we're not listing on any tier 1 exchanges for at least a week. We're only on Uniswap. We're only on PancakeSwap. Don't trade anywhere else. If you do see the token listed anywhere else, test liquidity. They had said this constantly. And so what happened was while BitGet had listed this fake version of TokenFi, then they started to have some issues. BitGet ultimately had an issue because they had allowed people to buy and sell TOKEN, but it technically wasn't backed by anything. They didn't have the actual tokens, and it wasn't any fault of the Floki team. It wasn't any fault of the TokenFi team. It ultimately was all on BitGet, because what BitGet did is they listed the token before it was even launched, before it was available on DEXs. And so they basically just created this random symbol, listed it, pretending that it was actually the real token. So what happened is that BitGet then realized their mistake a few days later, after they had already garnered, tens of millions of dollars in trading volume. And then they came out and announced, look, we're going to delist TokenFi because of the fact that it wasn't properly collateralized, that there was only $2,000 in tokens to the liquidity pool of DEXs, and that ultimately it was a liquidity issue for TokenFi. But that wasn't what happened. Really, what happened is that BitGet launched and listed this token, fake TokenFi token, before it was actually tradable. And as a result of it, it was never supposed to be listed on centralized exchanges. It still isn't listed on centralized exchanges just yet. So when they realized that, look, we just launched this token and we have nothing backing it, instead of saying we messed up and we owe, all of our users money, they just basically came out and said that we're going to have this buyback plan, but they ended up buying it back at like 20% less than the value of the actual token was trading, and people lost a lot of money. So this created a lot of problems. And ultimately what it was is that BitGet just listed a fake version of TokenFi's token. They listed it before TokenFi ever even had their token tradable on the blockchain. And then when BitGet, realizes that they screw up, they blame it on TokenFi. But really, it was their fault all along. The good news about this, though, is that despite everything happening, we've seen huge success for TokenFi. TokenFi has seen its price go up over 128% in the last few days. Since it has launched, it has increased in price dramatically, and it is currently trading right over 4 cents per token, up around 127% over the last 24 hours. And this is despite all the drama going on with BitGet. And it's because the community is so strong, and they realize that it wasn't any fault of Floki. It wasn't any fault of TokenFi. It was simply the fault of BitGet. And we can also see this in the fact that within just 6 hours of launching, TokenFi had nearly 11,000 holders, had nearly $20 million volume on PancakeSwap and Uniswap, the two top DEXs in the world. They were trending #1 as the hottest token in the world on both BNB and ETH chains. They've saw so much excitement, engagement, and massive amount of support from their community despite everything going on. So the reason why I bought this token and why I wanted to talk about it today is I wanted to address the FUD, talk about how everything going on with BitGet wasn't a TokenFi issue, how there wasn't a liquidity issue. Ultimately, is that BitGet listed this token when they never should have. They just made a symbol up because TokenFi still isn't available on centralized exchanges yet. It's going to be listed this coming Monday, so the first week of November. And despite everything that's happened, I bought this token because the community is extremely strong, and it's proven how resilient it is just with this drama going on. We've seen them raise tens of millions of dollars very quickly. The team behind Floki is one of the strongest in the crypto space, and we have not even seen any tier 1 exchange listings yet. So when we do see tier 1 exchange listings, I'm expecting TokenFi to just continue to rally higher and higher, because right now it is seen immense growth. And that is without tier 1 exchange listings. That's with the FUD coming from BitGet. That's with a few hiccups in this whole entire launch process. So when we do see tier 1 exchange listings like on Binance and KuCoin and OKX, that is when I expect to see this token just go from where it's at now to an entire new level. So I wanted to update you guys on that because I'm extremely bullish on this project, and I saw a lot of you guys commenting about what was going on, what happened with BitGet, do I still own it? So I wanted to address some of these things.